I wanted to ask you, can you tell us what dyslexia is?
Oh yes, I can. Um, let me just do a little bit more, and then I'll definitely get
Oh,
to that.
sorry.
Okay,
No,
that's fine. That's fine. Um, and um, hopefully you guys will help me out with my goal. Marked down as Barracuda Bodhi. My dad can give you more information if you'd like to donate. And now to your question, what is dyslexia completely? I can't obviously describe every single detail. I would have to be my dad or somebody who really knows what dyslexia is to tell you every single detail. But what it is it just makes it a little bit harder to read and write and that sort of stuff, which is natural for other kids, but harder for dyslexics. And my mom also had this, and she described it in a very nice way that I want to just say right now. She said that it was very hard for her in the school, and in reading and writing, it felt like there was a wall that didn't have any doors, but the other students just passed right through that with no door, and that she was locked out. And so she really worked hard. As you can see, she worked hard enough. And so she got through that door. She had to really work. She had to really work to get past that wall. But once she got past that wall, this is what happened. And so it's harder to read and write, but once you finish that, you actually have the advantage because you are better at business. Well, a little bit better at business. You're a little bit better at music, like my mom. You're a little bit better at fundraising business, like my dad. And there are many more things. I can't list them all, probably because I don't know them all. And that's what dyslexia is. And I hope that, does that answer your question?
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to turn this over to my dad if nobody else has any more questions. So, yes.
How old were you when your parents knew that you were dyslexic?
Well, that's more of a question for my dad, but they had the suspicion when I was in 7, and they pretty much knew when I was 8, but then they had me have a dyslexia test, and I passed as dyslexic. So,
That's an honor. Yeah.
and that's how that happened. I'll let my dad add a little bit more, and then I can put a little bit more on it. But
I'll just add to that because I think somebody's going to have a question for you. There's a 50% likelihood if one parent has dyslexia. There's a 70 to 100% likelihood if both parents have dyslexia. So we have been treating Bodhi as if he was dyslexic from the moment he was born, and he has been demonstrating some of the dyslexic advantages from the moment he could speak. And so we had to get him tested because the bureaucrats need a test in order to give him the accommodations in school later on. But we have been practicing reading remediation from the moment it was age appropriate. I can't believe you just did that. So if I could just point out one of the dyslexic advantages, which is discovered by these neuroscientists who've written a book called The Dyslexic Advantage. One of them they refer to as the narrative reasoning. And dyslexics have an incredible grasp of episodic memory, meaning we can live through details in our past with such vivid recall that we're then able to draw upon those memories when we're trying to create a compelling argument or to create a value proposition, which is why a lot of dyslexics become politicians or entrepreneurs that need to be able to tell a compelling vision, creative writers, singers, songwriters, people that need to convey reality through the art of rhetoric, may it be sung, written, spoken, whatever it may be. And so what Bodhi just did, I think, in spades, was he just demonstrated the narrative reasoning capability, which is for an 8-year-old to be able to tell that. I mean, I asked Bodhi, I said, do you want to prep for this thing? He said, I'm just going to wing it. So that was all just like off the cuff, which is clearly a narrative reasoning capability right there, which is a really big one. I know somebody else with a narrative reasoning capability, although she's not dyslexic, over there. So.
I've got a little bit more. So are you ready?
Yeah.
So, if you guys would like a couple of examples, I can give you some examples of some very, very famous people who are dyslexic. My dad could probably help me out with that. I'll just name a couple, and then my dad can tack on a couple more. Albert Einstein, without a doubt. Who else was? Richard Branson.
Charles Schwab.
Why don't you say something?
I'm just helping you out.
Yeah.
Okay, Charles Schwab,
Pablo Picasso,
Pablo Picasso,
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci,
Henry Ford,
Henry Ford.
and the list goes on and on
Yeah.
and on and on.
Very, very long.
Tom Cruise.
Woodrow Wilson, Tom Cruise, although we don't always say that out loud. Just kidding. Just casual.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Memorize lines.
Yeah, you know, exactly right. And then there's, you know, Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley and all these incredible actors.
started Intel.
I'm sorry?
The guy who started Intel, isn't he?
Intel.
Intel, yes. The guy that created Nerf, the guy that created IKEA, the guy that created Education Foundation, all these people. Yeah, I think that's very good.
Well, I just want to talk a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So my dad will be just passing out a couple of little things, just so you guys can get a little bit more of an idea of what dyslexia is, what no disability is, and all that good stuff. And so I'll try to just answer some questions that anybody has, starting with you.
I'm curious about the swim. So,
Are
there opportunities to pledge per mile or something like that? How does it work?
The way it works is, it's called the Bi-Coastal Aquathon, and you each get a little sign up sheet. You sign that out to get in. Then you get a cool little fish name, like I'm Barracuda Bodhi. And then you don't have to promise to anything. You just have to jump on in. It will be on the vineyard on a certain day, so it might not work. But that's the way it works. It is how many miles, Dad?
Well, it's called the
Bi-Coastal Aquathon.
Bi-Coastal
Aquathon, which is how long?
26.2 miles total.
Yes, 26.2 miles. You don't have to do all 22. You could do 1 mile. You could even just hop in for 5 strokes. You could just jump on in. Come swim with us. Does anybody else have any more questions? Wait, does that answer your question first?
Kind of. I was wondering not just about the swim, but just how you're raising the money. Is it?
Oh, how we're raising the money? So we've got
the swimmers.
We've got like a little page, and you go there to donate. So it's just donations that we're getting.
And you donate per person. You can donate. You can pledge per person.
Yeah.
Which swimmer you want to put your money on.
Does that answer your question? Okay, you?
I would, this sounds good. How do I get dyslexia? Kind of sounds, the way you talk, it sounds pretty nice.
Reincarnation, my friend.
How would one learn to be dyslexic? How do I?
I'm sorry, I do not know. I don't think anybody knows, but it's a genetic gift. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
All you can say is just not everybody's perfect.
Nope.
We love
Not
you.
everybody's perfect. 1 out of 5.
Can't buy it.
Can't buy it.
Can't buy.
Can't
Let it go.
That was excellent.
God, that was
voice.
great.
Yeah, great job, Bodhi.
Good job, Bodhi.
Great job.
Nice, B.
Very good, Bodhi.